Welcome back to LINGA Code Technologies. Today, we're undertaking a satsang into ultimate leadership consciousness,
Oh, okay.
based on research backed up by Hindu scriptures conducted by LINGA Code. This satsang is tailored for you, the learner, who wants to gain knowledge quickly and thoroughly without feeling overwhelmed.
Right.
We aim to extract the most important insights about leadership and leadership consciousness from LINGA Code's work. We understand you appreciate a clear structure and engaging delivery. So we'll guide you through the key aspects of leadership and consciousness as presented by LINGA Code. Okay, so let's unpack this. Ultimate leadership consciousness.
Okay.
It sounds like a lofty goal, doesn't it?
It does.
But what's the core idea that LINGA Code's research, drawing from Hindu scriptures, really points to?
Well, what's fascinating here is the fundamental distinction that LINGA Code makes right at the beginning. They differentiate between the status of a leader, that is the title or position someone might hold in an organization or society,
Okay.
and the state of leader consciousness.
I see.
The crucial insight here is that problems often arise when individuals achieve a leadership role without the corresponding inner maturity. That developed state of consciousness needed to effectively handle the weight of responsibility.
That's interesting.
Think about it. We've all seen leaders who buckle under pressure,
Oh, yeah.
leading to stress for them and tension within their teams.
Yes, absolutely.
LINGA Code suggests this imbalance between external status and internal state is a key factor.
That makes immediate sense. We've all encountered situations where someone has the title, but not necessarily the inner poise to truly lead.
Yes.
LINGA Code emphasizes that true leadership, that authentic state of leader consciousness, actually ignites when an individual feels a deep sense of responsibility for everything happening around them.
Okay, interesting.
Here's where it gets really interesting. They propose that this shift in perspective, this feeling of ownership,
Okay.
paradoxically makes tasks feel lighter and even more enjoyable.
Oh, wow.
It's a complete flip from the common perception of responsibility as a heavy burden. So the key insight here is that a leadership title without inner development is a house built on sand, prone to internal and external collapse.
Exactly. It's about moving from a mindset of external control to an internal sense of profound ownership. If we connect this to the bigger picture, LINGA Code's work implies that genuine leadership isn't about dominating or micromanaging, but rather about fostering this inner accountability that radiates outward and influences the entire environment.
Now, once we delve into this inner state, the workings of the mind inevitably come into focus.
Makes sense?
LINGA Code's research explores the mind's role and the impact of what they call engrams on leadership.
Right.
Could you shed some light on how LINGA Code views the mind's functions and what these engrams are all about?
Certainly. LINGA Code explains that the mind processes information through various stages, including memory,
Okay.
how we identify with certain ideas or roles, and what they term the ego, which acts as our decision-making hub.
Interesting.
But what's particularly significant is their focus on unconscious engrams, sometimes also referred to as samskaras.
Samskaras.
Think of these as deeply etched grooves or patterns in the mind, formed by our past experiences.
I see.
What's fascinating is that LINGA Code argues these engrams often exert a powerful and often unnoticed influence over our behavior and the choices we make, even when we consciously believe we are acting rationally.
So when you say samskaras, we're talking about deeply ingrained habits
Oh, yeah.
or mental imprints.
Exactly.
Okay, so these past experiences, even ones we might not actively remember, are like silent programs running in the background,
Yes,
subtly shaping how we lead and interact. That's a powerful idea.
it is.
Unconscious past experiences, or engrams, are the hidden architects of our leadership behaviors,
Yeah.
often undermining our conscious intentions.
Precisely. LINGA Code highlights that these engrams significantly impact crucial leadership domains that traditional development often overlooks. Consider aspects like productivity, interpersonal skills, how we function within a team, the quality of our judgment, and our overall leadership behavior. These ingrained patterns can either facilitate or obstruct effective leadership, yet they seldom receive direct attention in conventional training.
That rings true. We've all observed leaders with predictable reactions or habitual ways of dealing with situations.
Yeah,
Sounds like these engrams could be the underlying drivers of those patterns.
they very well could be.
But LINGA Code also suggests that when the mind is less influenced by these unconscious patterns, something remarkable can happen.
Yes, what's truly exciting is the potential that unfolds. When the mind is less cluttered by these deeply ingrained patterns, it opens the gateway for enhanced creativity, and crucially for leadership, the emergence of intuition.
Ah, intuition. It often feels like an elusive quality that some leaders innately possess.
Right.
But LINGA Code presents it as a vital component of leader consciousness, something that can surface when the mind isn't clouded by engrams.
Yes.
How did they define this crucial aspect of intuition?
LINGA Code defines intuition as form of intelligence. That goes beyond the purely intellectual. It's not solely about logical reasoning. Rather, it arises when our entire being, our intellect, emotions, and deeper consciousness operates in harmony.
I see.
This integrated wisdom becomes particularly indispensable in leadership scenarios, where you're faced with limited information, pressing time constraints, or a complex web of choices.
So true leadership intuition isn't a lucky guess, but the integrated wisdom of a clear and whole mind.
Precisely.
So it's more than just a hunch or a gut feeling.
Yes, it is. LINGA Code clarifies that if there's any ambiguity about whether something is genuine intuition or just intellectual speculation, it's likely the latter. True intuition brings with it an unmistakable sense of clarity and the inner resolve, the energy to actually implement the decisions that arise from it.
That makes sense.
It's not just about knowing the right course of action, but feeling empowered to take it.
Okay, so we're moving beyond the realm of the purely rational mind and tapping into this deeper wellspring of intuition. Now, LINGA Code's research also introduces the concept of intensity as a powerful catalyst for transformation in developing leader consciousness.
Right.
What specific meaning do they ascribe to this idea of intensity?
This is a particularly compelling aspect of LINGA Code's framework. They describe intensity as an urgent inner feeling, a profound and compelling drive to break free from self-imposed limitations, particularly within our inner landscape.
I see.
It's vital to understand their distinction between intensity and mere emotion. While intensity might have an emotional component, it's more akin to an internal heat that melts away obstacles and ingrained patterns that hold us back.
So it's an active force for change.
Exactly. LINGA Code suggests that living life with this quality of intensity naturally paves the way for inner liberation. Conversely, a lack of intensity can trap the mind in repetitive cycles and the relentless pursuit of fleeting cravings. Simply because the initial experience was never fully engaged or felt completely, there's a sense of incompleteness that fuels the repetition.
That resonates with the idea of being fully present in what you do.
It does.
LINGA Code also connects this idea of intensity to the 4 states of consciousness.
Yes.
Could you elaborate on that connection?
Yes, they link true intensity to a state of heightened awareness. That permeates all 4 states of consciousness.
Okay.
Our normal waking state, the subconscious world of dreaming, the deep restorative state of sleep, and Turīya, which is described as a 4th state. Beyond waking dreaming and deep sleep, often characterized as pure underlying awareness.
I see.
LINGA Code suggests that to truly cultivate and harness intensity, this driving force for change, requires a level of awareness that extends beyond our conscious waking hours and touches these deeper states of being within ourselves.
So think about your daily experience, cycling through waking, the subconscious world of dreams, and the deep rest of sleep. Turīya is described as a 4th state, a baseline of pure awareness that underlies these 3. LINGA Code suggests that true intensity, this driving force for change, becomes more accessible when you have a connection to this deeper level of awareness within yourself. And this intense seeking, this deep quest for understanding, as opposed to just having a casual question, how does that relate to the potential for awakening and enlightenment within the context of leader consciousness?
LINGA Code posits that the distance between our current level of awareness and a state of enlightenment is often bridged by this very quality of intensity. Simply having a passing question about personal growth is fundamentally different from embarking on a deep, urgent quest for profound understanding and inner transformation.
That makes sense.
This intense desire, this unwavering focus of the entire being, generates the necessary momentum for significant shifts in consciousness.
This is truly profound.
It is.
Now, shifting our focus somewhat, LINGA Code's research also places significant emphasis on the importance of acceptance and non-resistance in cultivating this ultimate leadership consciousness.
Right.
How does this principle come into play?
LINGA Code addresses the pervasive human experience of worry, essentially framing it as an illusion, a deeply ingrained mental pattern that can become almost like an addiction. They propose that the future is inherently open and brimming with possibilities, but the act of worrying can actually narrow those possibilities, almost pre-programming a replication of past anxieties and challenges.
So by worrying, We're almost pre-programming ourselves for the same old problems.
That's the implication. Linga Code suggests that the journey towards enlightenment itself is fundamentally a process of learning to relax into our true selves.
Okay.
They even touch upon the seemingly counterintuitive idea that letting go of the constant need to be someone special or always in control, essentially becoming a nobody in the egoic sense, can actually unlock a state of profound inner peace and bliss.
That flies in the face of a lot of traditional leadership narratives that emphasize being strong and in charge.
Exactly. Linga Code challenges those conventional assumptions, suggesting that resisting the natural flow of life, including the inevitable process of death, actually prevents us from fully comprehending and appreciating the richness and abundance of life. Confronting our deepest fears, including the fear of death, demystifies it and ultimately allows us to live more authentically and completely.
And this notion that you are not fundamentally needed to run your life, that sounds like a radically different perspective.
Yeah.
Especially for someone in a leadership role. Who is expected to be in control?
It is a significant shift in perspective. Linga Code proposes that there is a universal intelligence at play, a natural order to the cosmos that operates whether we consciously try to manipulate it or not.
Okay.
The key lies in cultivating acceptance of life's inherent unpredictability and developing a deep trust in this underlying intelligence.
I see.
It's a transition from a state of constant striving and the illusion of absolute control to a state of graceful flow and allowing.
This is certainly challenging some deeply ingrained beliefs about personal agency and control, particularly in a leadership context.
Yes.
It is. But Linga Code's insights don't end there. They also underscore the transformative power of gratitude.
Right.
Why is cultivating gratitude considered so essential on this path towards ultimate leadership consciousness?
Linga Code asserts that gratitude is absolutely fundamental, beginning with the simple yet profound act of being thankful for the very gift of existence. They suggest that every experience, every encounter, can be reframed and perceived as a gift, shifting our internal focus from a sense of lack to an awareness of abundance.
It's a mindset shift with tangible effects, it sounds like.
Absolutely. Linga Code even suggests that consistently practicing gratitude can have a direct impact on our physical presence, altering our body language. To project a more positive and receptive energy on a deeper level,
That's right.
they propose that gratitude has the remarkable power to burn karmas, to dissolve negative patterns and the consequences of past actions.
Oh, wow.
They even elevate gratitude to the status of the ultimate prayer and the essence of all religion, highlighting its profound spiritual significance.
That's a powerful statement about the transformative potential of gratitude. Now, you mentioned karma. Linga Code's research also delves into understanding and ultimately transcending the dynamics of karma. Could you break down the different types of karma they discuss and how they relate to the development of leader consciousness?
Linga Code outlines several key categories of karma.
Okay.
First, there's sanchita karma, which represents the entire reservoir of accumulated karma from all our past experiences across all lifetimes.
Well, I see.
Then there's prarabdha karma, which is a specific portion of this vast reservoir that is ripe to be experienced in our current lifetime, what they refer to as the karma of this particular birth.
Okay.
Finally, there's agama karma, which is the new karma we generate through our thoughts, words, and actions in this present lifetime.
So we come to this life with a preset of experiences, and then we add to it.
That's a simplified way to understand it. What's particularly interesting is Linga Code's assertion that the prarabdha karma of this current birth can actually begin to dissolve simply through the practices of conscious breathing and focused intention, provided we are mindful not to accumulate significant new agama karma through our actions. They emphasize that in the larger cosmic context, it is our underlying intention that holds the most weight, not merely the outward manifestations of our actions.
I had a profound point about intention.
It is.
And what role does the guidance of a master play in navigating these karmic influences?
Linga Code suggests that the grace and presence of an enlightened master can significantly diminish the burden of our accumulated sanchita karma.
Okay.
Ultimately, the aim is to purify all karmic imprints, which leads to liberation from the cycle of birth and death. They even propose that for individuals who have transcended their karma, subsequent births become conscious choices, expressions of joy rather than being driven by unresolved karmic obligations.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Furthermore, Linga Code mentions that initiations received from a genuine master can be instrumental in breaking free from deeply ingrained depressive thought patterns and the powerful influence of prarabdha karma.
This naturally leads us to the final key aspect in our outline, the crucial role of a master in cultivating this ultimate leadership consciousness. According to LINGA Code's research, why is the presence and guidance of a master considered so vital?
LINGA Code describes a master as nothing less than living enlightenment, an individual who fully embodies the state of consciousness we've been exploring. They contend that the guidance of such a master is often essential for navigating this profound journey of inner transformation.
I see.
By cultivating openness and surrendering to the transformative energy emanating from the master, while also learning to quiet the constant need for logical analysis. Individuals can experience significant and lasting shifts in their consciousness.
So it's about more than just intellectual learning.
Absolutely. LINGA Code uses the analogy of a master being like a window to the vastness of existence, providing a tangible point of connection to something that might otherwise feel too immense or overwhelming for a direct experience.
Right.
They outline 3 levels of surrender to the master: through the intellect, through the emotions, and through the senses. Ultimately, they explain that the master showers a state of choiceless bliss, and it is the disciple's conscious choice to open themselves to receive it.
I see.
The relationship evolves from initial intellectual understanding or emotional connection to a much deeper merging of beings, ultimately leading towards liberation.
This has been an incredibly insightful satsang into LINGA Code's research on ultimate leadership consciousness. It's evident that this perspective goes far beyond traditional management theories, focusing on the deep and fundamental inner transformation as the bedrock of true leadership.
What's particularly compelling is how LINGA Code seamlessly integrates profound insights from Hindu scriptures to present a holistic understanding of leadership, one that prioritizes inner maturity, the wisdom of intuition, and a deep exploration of the nature of our own consciousness.
We hope this satsang into ultimate leadership consciousness from LINGA Code has offered you, the learner, valuable insights and those sought-after aha moments. Remember, cultivating this ultimate leader consciousness involves a journey of understanding the intricate workings of your own mind, learning to harness the power of intuition and inner intensity, embracing the profound wisdom of acceptance, actively practicing gratitude, and gaining a deeper understanding of the dynamics of karma, potentially with the invaluable guidance of a master. This exploration is truly just the beginning of engaging with these profound concepts. We encourage you to take some time to reflect on how these ideas resonate with your own experiences and your aspirations, both in your leadership roles and in the broader context of your life. What specific insight stands out to you as the most significant takeaway from our discussion today? And as you continue your journey of growth and self-discovery, consider this. If true leader consciousness is fundamentally about cultivating inner maturity, what small intentional step can you take today to nurture a greater sense of responsibility and deeper inner awareness in your daily life? That single step could very well be the seed for a profound and transformative shift in your leadership and in your overall consciousness.